Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm going to show you how to make a Kerala pork curry today. This is a mild version. However, if you like a spicy curry, you can always replace the mild Kashmiri chili powder with a hot red chili powder instead. So all of the ingredients that you need are listed in the description box. So please go and have a look at it and get everything prepped and ready before you start cooking this recipe. It's a fairly beginner-friendly recipe to make. Honestly, there's not too many steps. The prep is probably what's going to take you the longest as a beginner. However, nice and easy to make afterwards. So when your pan is nice and hot, add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil into the pan. I would recommend to use an oil that doesn't have a lot of flavor to it, so vegetable oil is perfect for that. Add in all of your onions and your dry spices and the scotch bonnet pepper that you've got prepared into the hot pan first. So you've got to just keep stirring this and frying it until it's all of the onions have softened and it started to take on a very light golden color. So you're not looking for a deep browning here. So this process is probably going to take you, I would say, a good 5 minutes or so. So this is probably the hardest part in this recipe, honestly, because it takes a lot of stirring. But after this, you're on to the easy bits. So as you can see now, the color's changed, it's softened, and you've got a light browning going on with the onions here. It's time to add in the tomatoes. So I'm using baby plum tomatoes, which are slightly sweeter compared to normal tomatoes. So ideally you want to get a variety of tomatoes that are a little bit sweeter, because it's going to give this curry that nice sweet flavor that's going to kind of balance up with the tangy flavor that we're going to get in a minute once we add this special ingredient. So to this, you just want to add your dry spices. It's more of the same that we used in order to marinate the meat, which again, it's all in the description box. So you just want to think of it as seasoning the masala for the curry. So you've seasoned the meat. Now it's time to season the masala. So you add in that, you just make sure that nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan. So add in a splash of water if you need it. And a pinch of salt. Again, you're seasoning the masala and not the meat, because you've already popped some salt into that. So once you've done this bit, make sure you go ahead at this point and add in your secret ingredient. Well, not so secret anymore. So I'm using here, as you can see, some balsamic vinegar glaze. I would say that's about 1.5 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar glaze, and it just gives this curry that yummy tangy flavor. It's also slightly sweet compared to just using vinegar on its own, so it gives the curry a yummy kind of sweet and tangy flavor that's really goes well with pork. So at this point, add in your marinated meat, mix that all in together nicely. So for the marinade, everything you need again is in the description box. Just have a look at it and do that ahead of prepping to make your masala for the curry. You need to only marinate it for about 30 minutes or so anyway, so it doesn't need a long marinade. So once you've done this and mixed all of the meat and the masala together, you need to add about 1/2 cup of water into this mixture. So again, the water is there just to make sure that nothing's going to burn and stick to the bottom of the pan at this stage. The meat as it cooks, the pork as it cooks, is going to release a lot of water anyway, so you don't need to add a lot of water at this stage. If you like a more, saucier gravy, you can always add at the end of the cooking process some extra water if you need it. So carry on mixing it every 15 minutes or so, and the rest of the time just make sure that you cook it with the lid closed and on the lowest flame that you can keep on your stove. So the reason for that is you just want this to cook slowly and tenderize all of that fat in the pork belly. So you might have to do this for quite a while. So I think I cooked my curry for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes before it got to this sort of stage where you can see the gravy's thickened nicely. So as you're keeping the pan closed for 15 minutes at a time, you'll get a bit of crusting on the bottom when you open it initially, but it's not burnt bits, guys. It's just some of that tomato and masala sticking to the bottom of the pan. So just scrape that into the sauce as you go. When you get to the desired point in your gravy, or when you know that the meat's cooked, so just kind of press it with your ladle. You can start cooking it open if you like, if you want it to be much more of a drier curry, but if you still want a bit of that sauce, just pop the lid back on, and you can see here that the oil has now split from the gravy, and you know it's the right time. You know that the curry's cooked properly, and all the spices and all the flavors from the herbs have all amalgamated together, so it's going to be absolutely amazing now. So at this point, make sure once again that you get all of that yummy flavor off the bottom of the pan, mix it all in together nicely, and you can garnish it now. And I usually use some freshly chopped coriander for this. Now, a little trick with coriander, because often we get a big bunch and it goes off by the time we get to finish the whole bunch. So what I do is when I get them fresh on the day, I will wash them and dry them and put them into a freezer bag and store them in the freezer. That way, when you need to use it for your garnishes, all you got to do is scrunch that bag up a little bit, and you get nice, small bits of coriander that you can then just use for garnishing. It's nice and easy, and it stays fresh in your freezer for at least a month to 2 months. So there you go, guys, your curry's ready and it's time to enjoy it. I always leave it to rest for about 10 minutes after I've cooked it before I serve, again because you just allow that meat to soften out nicely again before serving. So I love to have this curry with chapatis, but my husband and my little one usually have it with a bit of rice. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you try it, and please do let me know if you like it. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and press the bell button for notifications as I post new recipes. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and supporting me. Bye.